Soh Cah Toa is used to solve right triangles, okay? So in order to use Soh Cah Toa, you have to have a right angle in the picture. And the triangle will look like this. The right angle is usually called C or the third letter. So if it's D, E, F, it would be F. And then the other two are A and B. So sometimes they're going to ask you to find something about A. If you find something about A, you have one situation. If they're asking you something about B, you have another situation. That's the hardest thing for kids. The way to remember how to spell Soh Cah Toa is
Soh Cah Toa.
Some old hippie caught another hippie tripping on acid. So when you deal with Soh Cah Toa, you have three capital letters, S, C, and T. S is sign, and the button on your calculator is S-I-N, which is pronounced sign, not sin. C is cosine, and that's a C-O-S on your calculator. And T is tangent, and that's a T-A-N on your calculator. And if you look at your calculator, they go across like one of the top straight rows up there. So that's where you find them on your calculator. We're not going to use those buttons today, but we're going to use them tomorrow. So when we use them tomorrow, we'll practice with those, okay? But today we're going to do something quite easy. We're just breaking you in easy.
What's the third one?
Tangent. Now the little letters are A, O, and H. A is adjacent. O is opposite. And H is hypotenuse. Okay? So the formulas go like this. So the formula that goes with so is sine of the angle, and that's a symbol for angle, equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of the angle equals adjacent over hypotenuse. I'm just using the letters that are there. I'll let you copy in a minute. Tangent of the angle is opposite over adjacent. So how does this thing work? Okay? When you are, and tomorrow it's all gonna come full circle. For today, we're just gonna do a couple exercises kind of to break you in, like I told you. Well, I'm gonna draw another triangle here that looks just like that triangle, except I can't draw. But there's a B, a C, and an A, right? I'm gonna here circle angle A, and here I'm gonna circle angle B. So let's go to the one that you circled angle A on. When I circle angle A, this side right here at the bottom, would that be the opposite of A or the adjacent or the hypotenuse? Opposite of A. So we're going to put a little O there. And what about this side right here? What is that?
Adjacent.
Adjacent. And here is the hypotenuse. When we go to the other picture where B is, this is still the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the hypotenuse. But the A and the O are opposite of each other because B, the opposite of B, is over here, and the adjacent to B is here. Does everybody understand that? So if they ask you to find the sine of A, you're going to use the picture on the left. But if they ask you to find the cosine of B, you're going to use the picture on the right. Okay? At the top of every page when I do Soh Cah Toa, I always write Soh Cah Toa. And then I have it with me. And I'm also going to draw the second triangle that looks just like the first triangle. And it's still 3, 4, 5. And there's B and A. But here I'm going to circle the A. And in the A one, this would be the opposite, this would be the adjacent, and that would be the hypotenuse. Do you understand? And when I circle the B, this would be the opposite, this would be the adjacent, and this would still be the hypotenuse. My suggestion is to say this first picture is for anything with an A on it. So it's for this one, and this one. Everybody understand that? The one with the A's? So let's do those first using that first picture. Then we'll do the other three using the second picture. So you do everything for the A's and everything for the B's. And on your homework, You're even going to have D's and E's. You're going to have another triangle, so you'll have 4 triangle pictures, okay? So if I want the tangent of A, I'm using this picture right here. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So tangent of A, which side is the opposite?
4.
4 over adjacent. 3. Now what about cosine of A? Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. What is it?
3 over 5.
Perfect. And then the sine of A is opposite over hypotenuse. Somebody else. Who's the opposite in that first picture? 4 over what? Who's the hypotenuse?
5.
Done. If those fractions can be reduced, stick them in your calculator and hit math, enter, enter. None of them can. They're in their bare minimum, but the ones for homework can be reduced, so you're going to reduce them. Now let's go to the B. We're going to use this picture, okay? They want the sine of B. That's opposite over hypotenuse. What is it?
3 over 5.
Very good. Cosine of B, somebody else. Adjacent over hypotenuse.
4 over 5.
Thank you. And tangent of B is opposite over adjacent.
3 over 4.
3 over 4.